Yo, 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 we back in this thing.
What's up, Mister? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Looks like you're doing well too.
Trying, take it in. It's been a long year. I like to say, we don't know what tomorrow holds,
Mhm.
next month holds, next year holds. So it's about, you know what, resilience. Trying to keep going,
Mm-hmm.
get through it. That's the goal and the objective, and all we can kind of do right now, I think.
Absolutely. That's all we can do. Try to be resilient. Try to hope for a better tomorrow, a better future. Even though sometimes it looks like it's so far away, we have to remain focused on all the good, all the positive, and try to, limit all the negative, or at
Mhm.
least turn our attention away from it sometimes. So, yeah, man, I'm with you. We got it. We got to get through it. It's the only way.
Yeah, for sure. And what's looks like your shirt is about getting to it. What you rocking today?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? I was thinking to myself, I was like, I might have to call this my "Make America Black Again" shirt.
Wow.
A little liberation. A little bit of red. Yeah, man. That's what I'm into. Even though the summer's over for me because it's back at work, etc. I'm still on my black sabbatical. I'm still on my black sabbatical. I still visit the Black Power bookshelf. I mean, it's what I'm doing. It's what I'm doing. So that's what the shirt is.
You took every minute of that sabbatical. I respect it.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Now I'm back. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm charged up, brother. I am charged up. How about yourself?
It's funny. I was gonna wear a red shirt. I'm glad I didn't. Now we'd be like twinsies. I decided. I'm also like thinking about summer right now. I haven't like done anything that feels like summer except be hot.
Mm.
Like I haven't gone to a beach, haven't traveled, haven't like been like I'm on vacation. It's just been like push, push, push. So I pulled out the Aloha shirt to get up into it. It's funny. I mentioned before in Hawaii. This is a shirt you would wear to the office.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is like I got a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
They're, like real Hawaiians don't wear shiny bright aloha shirts. They have a whole. It's all like subtle. It's still aloha, but it's very calm and cool and effective. It's kind of funny because inside it's like much brighter,
Okay.
which
Oh, okay. Yeah.
keeps me out.
Yeah.
Aloha, that and aloha is for you. I love that. Right. So, oh, aloha shirt.
I like that. I really do like that. I could get down with that life, brother.
Yeah, right. Completely. This is like I got a formal meeting. Sure.
Right. Right. Looks dope. And the party's on the inside.
Exactly. Personal part. Personal
Yes,
part.
sir.
So,
Or in the Quaker space, that's the inner light.
you know, virtually in LA.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. What you sipping on today?
It's been one of those weeks, so I decided to go back. I need to get a label brand bottle with the tag and everything.
Uh-oh, tag life.
Tag like pull the whistle pig out.
Okay.
Straight rye whiskey. A blend.
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
Bringing back our friend
Oh.
Majesty back.
Well, see, I was going to do a red shirt and majestic. This would have been crazy.
Oh, you go to the restaurant and the Majesty too? What?
I came real close, but something moved me, so let's be a little different.
Hey now, okay. Listen, we wavelength,
Yeah, right.
all there, all there.
Completely.
Let's get into it. There you go, cork life. Little bass to it, like you said, a little bass.
There's a little bass. Yay. That's gonna top it off. Make it happen.
Got to.
I already smelled it.
You got anything on your mind to cheers to today, good brother?
To the resilience we will have to make it through what's coming next.
Oh wow, beautiful, beautiful. To that.
Yes, to that. Woo. Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Wakes you up.
Woo. Been a little while.
Yeah, right? Been a good little while, but I welcome you back. You were missed, friend. Yes. Good to have you back in the life.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it's been quite a week. We have kind of a major announcement um, from the halls of the DC, the global election. What did you notice that happened this year?
I noticed that we heard an announcement from Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe. Yeah. Well, what was that announcement?
The announcement is that Kamala Harris is the VP, that is going to be his running mate. So that's what's hot in these streets. I don't know about you, but I've seen my Facebook feed, Instagram. If I had Twitter, I'm sure I'd be on my Twitter feed. But everybody and their mama has something to say about it.
Much. I want to take so yes. And she's been celebrated, and here we are, and it's all kinds of stuff. But I'm gonna take a history pause because she's been announced as the first Black woman.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Get the facts.
Talk about it.
Happy about it, but we can't forget about Miss Charlotta Bass.
Talk about it.
You know Charlotta Bass?
Yes.
What do you do?
Talk about it.
1952, Progressive Party. She was the real, true first Black woman. I mean, Kamala got all the props, and I'm taking any shine away. But y'all need to know about Miss Charlotta Bass. I keep saying Bass. She was brought onto the ticket 1952. It was crazy. The world was like, what? It's hard enough in 2020, but over half a century ago, this woman in the 50s stepped forward and accepted the nomination for vice president. And it was a progressive party. There was no chance. But I think it's important to share her name. Charlotta. Is it Carlotta?
I think it's Carlotta.
No, Carlotta, because I want to say Charlotte. You don't have to do with names. Carlotta Bass. Is it Bass or Bass? You remember?
I believe it's Bass.
Yeah, Carlotta Bass, 1952. I knew the year, but she was the very first woman to run and be nominated for vice president, which I think was real important. She was badass too. You take no stuff. So
think about that time period. Yeah, it's just
exactly. Like her life was on the line. Not to say that the way things are going in the world right now, that Mrs. Harris's life is not on the line too. But I just think it's important to say her name because this woman did a lot of work, paved the way. We wouldn't be here today without her standing up.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was having a moment to myself just thinking about how, as Americans, by Americans I mean those in the United States of America, how much history we do not know. And I mean, it doesn't matter what your background is, your racial orientation, your religious background, it doesn't matter. I think we all do not have enough history, particularly world history. But if we look specifically at what happens in our own spaces, we don't have that type of history. So if people don't educate us, right, we might end up thinking that the first is relative to our own perspective. Because this is the first that I've seen, means that this person is the first. And we don't do any type of due diligence sometimes to make sure whether or not we're seeing this for the first time actually be it for the first time. So I just want to caution people against that because sometimes we get so happy and excited because it's the first time we've seen something in our lifetime. We think that, oh, that means it's the first time ever.
Right. And it doesn't take anything away from what Kamala is doing, but
absolutely,
let's not forget what Carlotta Bass did in 1952. And then many other, Fannie Lou Hamer, she did with the Southern National Democratic Conference. Like, come on, she went, and they tried to do her. So it's amazing to think about the history and what folks will do. So, yes. So we honor you, Mrs. Carlotta Bass. Thank you for doing what you did, standing up and running for vice president in 1952 and being the first African-American woman to be nominated or offered the position of running for vice president. I think about that like I never learned about that in any history class I took ever. That was my own research and knowledge, and just came across it one day like, oh, what? Why did I know about this? Why wasn't this like on my test in 11th grade?
Mm-hmm.
Why wasn't this like a real important stress point of like, oh, look at what it did. Look at this what it did in 1952. Let's study America and history and world history through that perspective. That would have kept. I would have done all the assignments. You know,
Talk about it.
all the assignments. Like if that was on my studies. So yes, Kamala Harris now has a nomination with Uncle Joe.
Yes,
What,
yes, yes.
what do you think? How do you feel?
I think there's a couple of things I was thinking about. I think that politically speaking is probably the best move. One, a woman of color, particularly a black woman, and people want to argue back and forth whether or not she's black or not. I think that's a waste of time. It's ridiculous and it's stupid. And it's divisive. It's propaganda that's being pushed in different ways too. And people are going to use this infighting to their advantage, right? So I think that's nonsense, but I think it's the most politically sound choice that he could have made for a number of different reasons, particularly because she was already on a campaign trail. So everything that people could say about her really was already exposed in a number of different ways. And we have to wrestle with that and be honest with ourselves about, guess what? In this imperfect world, in this imperfect nation, we have imperfect choices.
Right.
So if we're looking for someone without blemish, we're not going to find that person. Even if we look in the mirror, we're not going to find that person. So when we sit here, we talk about, oh, this, that, and the third, it's important to put things in context. It's important to hold people accountable. But it's also important to not think that we're holier than thou. It's also important for us to remember that this is an election, a political election. It's not who you're voting for to be the minister of your church or the rabbi of your synagogue or the imam at your mosque. It's not that. And for me, I see it as voting for someone in this election. It's not me voting for my salvation. It's more so me exercising my faith and putting hope in a team that I think can accomplish or has my best interests more so in mind than someone else. And I think that we have to develop some political maturity to really think about what the options are and vote our conscience, but also think about what's going to put me and my family and my future and my legacy and my progeny in the best space. Because it's not just about who's going to be the president for the next 4 years. It's not just about that. There's so many other things that come from that. Talking about who's going to be elected in terms, or who's going to be appointed as Supreme Court justices. All these other pieces are there. So what I don't like to see is ignorant arguments. I love intellectual arguments when we can wrestle with each other and try to come to some type of consensus. And even if we have to disagree, let's disagree without being disagreeable. And let's disagree without saying, you know what, the other option's better. Because it's not, no matter how you slice it, it's not better. It's not better. So for me, I also want people to think about how hypocritical we can be.
Oh yeah.
Because we all can be hypocritical, things change, right? Because I'm sure a lot of people who was probably like, rah, rah, rah for Hillary are now like, I don't know when it comes to Sister Harris, right? So I just want people to keep that same energy when we talk about certain things, because sometimes it seems like folks are just all twisted up in the game and they don't know what they're doing. They're like chickens running around with their heads cut off. Yeah. So I think that's what I'm seeing right now. And I just hope that we can bring it together. And I hope also what I would like to see from both of them, Biden and Harris, atone for the things that you've done in the past. If you actually sat there with the American people and said, these are the things that we did, these were our missteps, here's what we did and how we've realized now its impact, and we want to, address those concerns moving forward and atone for the things we did, I'd respect that 100%. Even if you're lying to me, I'd respect that 100%.
Just lie to me good.
Just lie to me good, right? So that's where I'm at, brother. I don't know about you, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah. It's a few notes and points you hit go right into what I've been thinking about in terms of some of the people. There's just I think the internet and the social media just provide space for people to just act a fool. Did you hear some commentary and some things put up? And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was that the Indian guy, I don't remember his name, Sharush, I think, who came in her, came in her real hard, criticizing her. You know, I think he said like, you can't just decide to be black. Like you can't just like something and choose it. Like he said something like, I like a bowl of something, a bowl of cheese or a cheese dip. That doesn't mean I'm a cheese dip. And it's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What's amazing is the conservative and Republican Party comes forward with all this nonsense. And people actually go like, let me think about that. As opposed to be like, no, he just told you that 1 + 1 is 3. And I need to think about that because you elitists always tell me that 1 + 1 is 2. And it's like, that's just a fact, Ma. Like somebody telling you something. So I think I get sad. I get like really sad. Like I really feel it when I see people just come out of their mouths. And this is not just conservatives, but everybody. I've seen some of the memes and the posts and everything just slamming her. And I'm like, why y'all coming for her like this? Like what's up inside of each and every one of us that we think is appropriate to come for someone like this? Like, I'm sure she's not been perfect. I'm sure with all her positions, there's a lot to discuss about her work as Attorney General. But my mind goes to, whenever I hear that, I'm like, you try about being a Black woman working as Attorney General in San Francisco and Oakland. Let me see if you don't make some choices that you don't want to do and that you don't agree with. And when the world, she locked up here to that, and it's like, I don't know the whole story. It deserves a lot more research from me. But being a Black person in America, my mind is like, I wonder what was going on. They had to make certain choices and decisions, and what was and was not allowed, even when she has the power. And if any doubt in your heart, go back to the beer summit with President Obama. For me, that was the moment when he had to do a major national apology for stating a fact. That police officer that arrested Skip Gates was stupid. That was a stupid thing to do. And the world came for him. The world came for him. Like the first month, I was like, God, that was for me. That was such a moment of like, this is them expressing power and just irrational push forward with holding on to notions of supremacy and control. That was ridiculous. But when you look at racism, white supremacy, exclusion, inequality, and equity, it is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous by nature, and therefore ridiculous things and actions and moments happen because of it. Like that simple. So I'm watching people respond to her and getting bothered, and I'm Team Kamala. I'm like, yes, do it, girl. And also, Uncle Joe is the oldest president to ever run, so you might get a Black female first president. I'm talking to y'all.
It's possible.
And a chance to run the next so-and-so. And it's also a thing you talk about. This isn't your pastor or your sorority or fraternity captain. Is that right? When you have
synagogue rabbi.
I'm speaking specifically.
Oh, you said captain. Yeah. Let's keep it at that. No, but your president. No, it's not your president. Or the general president. All those things. Yeah.
I expect some folks like come get me for getting stuff wrong. So I don't know with the canes. But head of your fraternity. This is someone that will affect national laws around healthcare, will help lead and guide our undirected, misguided path towards dealing with this international pandemic, which is redundant, but you get the notion. Pandemic. We need more guidance with that. We need more help. We need national approaches and national direction. Not kids don't really get sick from it, or I'm going to go open up this factory. Homeboy went to a factory that was making materials and had to throw everything away because he was touching stuff. Come on.
Ridiculous, ridiculous. And it's a few things that you said that just really hit home for me too. That I'm thinking about. One, heavy is the head that wears the crown. So whenever you're in a position of power or a position where you have a lot of decisions to make, sometimes they're difficult ones. Two, even if we think about the spaces that we're in and the decisions that we have to make on a daily basis, some of which really go against who we are as a person.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, do the ends justify the means? If the means is something that gets closer to actually liberating people. And then third, in a racist, capitalistic, patriarchal society, have we seen 100% pure, unadulterated, and unapologetically Black
I saw it.
person
Right.
who has made it in this crazy space we call America to the highest level of the office, of the land? Have we seen that? Will we see that? Is the environment and the climate and the current of the waters of this nation ready for that? In fact, history tells us that they get killed, gunned down, deported, etc. So sometimes in order to get to that space, we all know what the game is. We know what the game is. I'm not justifying it. All I'm saying is let's be a little bit more realistic about what the game is and call a spade a spade.
Think about the things that you and I do on a daily basis where we, as hard as it is, bite our tongue. Or you know what, I'm gonna let that ride. You know, because you just sit there and it's like, or nowadays, it's when you're in the chat, the other Black person, you go to that chat like, did you hear what this motherfucker said? You know, like straight up, like go up in it, because it's incredible what we have to like take in and deal with, and when we try and speak about it, folks lose their minds. They lose their minds. So yeah, the sacrifice the personal sacrifice it takes for anyone to achieve that office. I mean, anyone to achieve the office for one, and then amplify it by being a person of color, you know, and all the things that we have to go through. So yeah, she gets all the props. She gets all the props. And I had this little funny where I was like, I don't want to hear one more biracial person saying they having it hard because y'all getting everything. Come on, come on now. Come on, you always been my people, but that's the second potential high office for the biracial brothers and sisters, which I love and I celebrate. But it was like y'all got the role models, so,
right?
Right.
Talk about it. My thing in a nation that has been built on anti-Blackness, kind of feels good when somebody wants to be Black.
Right, exactly.
Especially if they are.
Exactly. Yeah, I honestly celebrate this, and it's exciting to watch. And it's good. It's good feeling. She's intellectual. She's smart. She don't take no stuff. You know, like she's together. She's tight, and she's. I mean, I've only read about this, but apparently it is no small thing to achieve AKA status at Howard.
This is true.
It's called crossing the line.
No, you're not crossing. Well, you're not crossing the line. I think the caveat would be this, particularly back in the day.
Right.
I think nowadays things might be a little bit more. It might be a little different nowadays because of the numbers, etc. A number of different things that we don't need to talk about. But you know, I agree 100%.
Howard, come on now.
100%. That's where it was founded.
Yeah, exactly.
It was founded at Howard. Yep.
Yeah, so that means everybody and their mother probably went there hoping to do it, and she made it. Gosh, I hope this video of her doing line step. Is it like doing what you call it?
Strolling.
Oh.
You got strolling, and you got some stepping too when folks do the steps. But yeah.
Have you seen all the little videos talking about the AKAs going into the polls?
Yes, loved it.
It's so good.
It's real. Gotta take it and run with it. You gotta take it and run with it. And you know, it's just one of those situations where, you know, we're watching history. We're a part of history again, and hopefully we make the right historical choice.
Right. Yes. I agree. Because the other half is frightening. I heard somebody say, "Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the president fires Pence." because he wants to compete. And I was like, ooh. And also, it was announced today, October 7th, the first debate.
Is that right?
Oh, baby. I'm like trying to figure out what I'm going to wear.
You know what I mean? This is
I'm going to be at my house.
This is the real Verzuz. Let's see that. I want to see. I want Swiss Beats to host it. That's what I want to see. I want to see Swiss Beats to host it. They each need to open up with a rhyme, 16 bars. Bring your best bars, and you have to have a closing bar too. You could do 16 or you could do 8. You could do a cool 8, whatever. But you need opening bars and closing bars.
Oh my gosh! It is the verses we've all been waiting for. Yes, that's perfect. That's amazing. That got me. That's good. That's good. I love that. Oh, Madam Kamala Harris. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm ready for some spicy food up in the White House. Everything is bland right now.
Something with some seasoning. I mean, goodness.
With undercooked red meat and boiled potatoes,
raisins and potato salad, all that stuff.
Oh, like and like au courant raisins. I think they're doing something. Raisins, potatoes. I don't care how fancy the raisins are. Oh gosh, come on. Yeah, anyhow. Well, we are. It is a time to be alive. It is a time to be alive between this pandemic, between this election, and they're trying to close the post office down. What's up with that?
Oh, I saw that. They go over here, man. You want to talk about being desperate?
Right.
Goodness, really?
Right.
You coming for the post office? like, come on. How you going postal on the post office? That's crazy.
Exactly. Go put somebody in charge that's probably never been to the post office. Probably never been inside a post office.
Probably never even saw a stamp because you have somebody opening mail for you.
Right, and they're cutting down machines, and I mean, I did my duty. I ordered some stamps. I like stamp stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole campaign, and I think it's raised over $1 billion now to buy $11. Everybody listening, go log on and get your stamps right now for $11 for stamps. And that's money going right to the post office. Nobody can touch that. It's like it's a way to do something, and people around like text them. I'm like, yes, people, let's go. It's something. At the end of the day, even though it may feel daunting and feel out of our control, it really is all up to us. And the choices we make, whether we jump on and start screaming about Kamala being terrible and horrible and calling her names, or buying into the language that is just deconstructive and not supportive at all, or supporting a Kanye West or some other person running, is all choices that are just not smart in my mind. And I'm hopeful that people can step the blank up and really use their heads, minds, and hearts and think about what's best for the world. Mm-hmm. Because we are in a spot we don't need to be in. Mm-hmm. And some folks are pushing and encouraging that on. So I'm hopeful, but I'm also aware of reality, very aware of reality. So.
Absolutely. So I think we should toast to hope.
Yeah.
Toast to hope. And this is not the first time we've toasted hope, but that's great because we need a lot of hope. And if we keep toasting the hope, maybe, just maybe, the things that we've hoped for will actually come to fruition.
I'm about to pour a hole in the glass. Hope. Hope that we have it.
Yes.
Mm. Woo.
Brown Juice Barbershop is hitting you.
Yes. I think my body was like jumped on the hope pattern and started feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
I love being here. This is always a good time for me. Always important good time for me. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate the lens that we bring to this space. Hopefully other folks do too. And of course, join in on the conversation, get in the comments, like the video, subscribe,
I'm here for you.
Definitely. So until next time, Stay woke, stay healthy, stay sharp, drink neat, and we'll holla.
Brown Juice Barbershop.
Peace.